Hi everyone, this video is to introduce you to phase 2 of our project where we start to work with color. Today I'm going to show you how to mix out your colors. So we're going to be mixing value scales for each of the major colors in this painting. So that's going to be these yellows, the brown of this cork, and the blue of this bottle. For each of these colors we need to mix out a value scale just like we've mixed out for our black and white painting and also for our neutral value scale project. First, mix a purple from ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson. We're going to use this to neutralize the yellows we're going to be creating for the lemon and the banana. That purple is going to allow you to mix shadow versions of your yellows for this painting. Yellow is a very warm color and we don't want to overwhelm it with white because white has a cooling effect. You can add a little bit of white, but you can also add more of the cadmium yellow. That's going to give you a lighter, brighter yellow, and it's going to keep that yellow really chromatic, which is what we're looking for, especially in the lemon. The cork is kind of a warm brown. You can create that using the burnt umber and ultramarine blue. Just push it a little bit warmer. The bottle is very close to ultramarine blue. You can create the darker shades that you need by neutralizing the blue with burnt umber. You can lighten that blue just adding titanium white. Now work from dark to light and general to specific, just like we did with our grayscale paintings, but now you're adding color. There's some things I want to point out with working on this painting and working in colored painting. So for starters, looking at our yellow objects. So we can see that in the light area, so this is our whole kind of light mass, the color is much more chromatic, it's brighter. And with these yellow objects too, yellow is inherently such a light color that you don't have to add a lot of white to it to brighten it or make it read as lighter. Okay, so yellow is already inherently very light on the value scale. So the light's more chromatic. If we look at the shadows though, we can see that the shadows are much more neutralized. So when you neutralize a color, for example our yellow, you're adding yellow and purple together to get that neutral, it's going to make it less chromatic. It's also going to make it go much darker. So shadows in general tend to be more neutralized, darker obviously, but the lights and more of the mid-tone areas can be more chromatic in terms of the color. Okay, so that's our yellow objects. Now let's also talk about this blue object here. We're also painting glass. So an important thing when you're painting glass is getting the values right. So the majority of this object is quite dark, right? If I squint at it, the majority of that bottle is quite dark. There's some variations in here, but that's also a fairly dark end of the value scale, even for these kind of lighter blues in here. However, the highlights are very sort of crisp, they're smaller, and they're bright white. In order for it to read like glass, you need to make sure that your highlights are reading as very bright and kind of it's a smaller area. That's in contrast with, for example, our lemon, which is this rounder object. The light is dispersing across the surface. It has a big area of direct light. That doesn't happen in a glass object.